What's happening, guys? I already reviewed the main event on my last video. I just loaded right, maybe a half hour ago. Definitely, now we're talking about the and pretty much the rest of the event and the fight cards as well. Just to let you guys know, Anthony Rumble Johnson and Glover Teixeira is fighting. Whoever wins that fight gets a shot at DC. Both of them are pretty much stylistically, they match. They're both pretty much come from the same pedigree. Both, striker, wrestler, and pretty much they both got heavy hands. And to be honest with you, it's not whose hands is going to get raised. It's whose hand gets there the fastest. And that's one of those fights where it could end really quick, and I expect it to be quick just because both of them both have heavy hands and they're both knockout artists. To me, in my opinion, yes, I would love Glover Teixeira to win, but I don't think he's gonna get that done. I think Anthony Rumble Johnson is just just a little bit faster than Glover Teixeira. I think his hand's a little bit quicker, to be honest with you. So I think Anthony Rumble Johnson, because I think Glover's going to try to take Anthony down to tire him out, because I guess he saw what DC did to him. So I think, listen, I'm just speculating. I think he's going to try to copy DC, because you don't really want to take a risk of standing with him. Either or, even if, even Rumble Johnson, he want to try to get in there. He's a fast starter too. So I guess to me, I think if Glover Teixeira wants to get another shot at that title, he needs to tire out, Rumble. Pretty much try to take him down. And I think, for any man that wants to stand up with Rumble, I think that's pretty foolish. The reason why I say that, you guys see what happened to DC. Man, he got clipped. He almost got finished. But I think Anthony Rumble Johnson, he gassed out, man. So, and I think that's what Glover Teixeira is banking. But I think Anthony Rumble Johnson fixed that. Now he's been training cardio too, so I don't think I think his gas tank's good now. He's legit with the gas tank, so he's not just like a 1 or 2 rounder guy now. I think he could go all 5 rounds. But definitely, I think in my opinion, I like Glover Teixeira. I like watching him. I give a lot of respect to him, and I think he's 39 years old. He's been fighting for a while too. He's been sparring with Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, when Chuck was reigning the division. But I think it's the much younger and faster fighter is going to win this fight would be Anthony Rumble Johnson. But, that's my pick. I think Anthony's going to take that. But this is MMA, guys. Anything could happen. Someone could get clipped. And this fight, you guys don't want to blink your eye because it could just end quick. All right. Next is you got Donald Cerrone versus Rick Story. I'll be honest with you guys. It's a very interesting fight. Rick Story is a veteran of the sport. He's been fighting for a while too. So does Donald too. But Rick Story has been in the UFC, I think, a little bit longer than Donald. But for the most part, just a heads up. Rick Story has 18 fights, guys, in the UFC, or in his career, I should say. And you guys, Donald Cerrone, he has 30 fights under his belt. So, both are veterans of the sport. As far as the height advantage, it's going to go to Donald Cerrone, and the length, of course. And to be honest with you guys, the way I've seen Donald Cerrone fight at 170 pounds, I'm very impressed. Even though, Rick Story is a great fighter, I can't take nothing away from him. But as far as that go, I think Donald Cerrone is going to take this one. And just to let you guys know with the ranking system, Donald's ranked 14, and Rick Story, I think, maybe 10, if I recall. But I think for skill set level wise, I think Donald Cerrone has a little bit more of a skill set than Rick Story. But still, you guys got to give credit to Rick Story just because he's a veteran in the sport. He's been fighting the UFC for a while now, and I respect him as a fighter, and he's a great fighter himself. But when you're against someone who else that has comes from a great camp as well, and he has a lot of experience. Plus, and like I said, he's fitting in that 170-pound division as well. But, we don't know. Like I said, anything could happen. But, for that fight, I'm picking Donald Cerrone to take the W on that one. An interesting fight. You got Cody Garbrandt versus Mizugaki. I think that's going to be a great fight. Both they both have knockout power. You guys know Cody Garbrandt got knockout power. So does Mizugaki. But for the most part, I think, when it comes down to it, let's see, it's going to be pretty much whose hand gets there first as well. But for skill set to skill set, I think the much younger and younger fighter is going to take that one. I think Cody Gambrant's going to take that one. From what I'm hearing too, if he beats Mizugaki, he's going to get the shot against pretty much Dominic Cruz. I think that's going to be a great fight as well if he beats Mizugaki. Mizugaki is a great fighter. He's very well rounded, so he's good all around, stand up, ground. He has the background for it, so it's going to be interesting. I think Mizugaki. I think his game plan was try to take Gambrant down because he don't want to risk standing up with him because he has a vicious right hand and he does those vicious body shots too. So, and I think that's the only way I see Mizugaki winning is take him down to the ground and just pretty much grind him out on the ground. So, so like what I said, it's gonna be a good fight. On both sides too. So it depends on who sets their game plan first. Like what I said, I think Gambrant's gonna win that one. I think he's gonna end up KOing Mizugaki, maybe second round or so. If not, I'll say second round he'll KO him. All right, guys. Another interesting fight. If you guys know, Artem is with Connor's team, and you have Avili with Nick Diaz's team and Nate Diaz's team. It's their young up and coming fighter, and so is Artem. You guys seen him on the on the show, like knocking people out and just pretty much. I think they call him the Russian Wrecking Ball or something like that. I think that's his nickname, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. So this is pretty much it's camp versus camp on this UFC 202. So it's gonna be bragging rights afterwards. Whoever wins, you guys know what it is. I don't know if you guys seen the press conference. It's crazy, but I already mentioned that. But for the most part, I think I haven't seen Chris Avili fight. I haven't seen any videos. Maybe I should look it up anyways. It's going to be an interesting fight. You guys seen Artem. And Artem, he fights straightforward. He comes at you. He puts a lot of pressure on you. And if Chris Avili got some boxing skills on him, if he could actually, just keep his distance and throw those jabs, just like Nick and Nate, the way how they fight. If he fights that way, I think he's got a shot to beat Artem. But I really don't know too much of Chris Avili. Or Artem, so I don't know. It's just whoever's the better fighter that night, for Saturday. So we'll see. Interesting fight though. Another thing, Neil Magny versus Larkin. You guys know Neil Magny, man. He's pretty much been the underdog in every single fight. But this time, no, I don't think he's the underdog. I think he's gonna win this one. To me, I think with Neil Magny having the experience fighting, top level guys, and Larkin, he needs to prove that he's part of the top guys, the top 10 guys he's fighting. He needs to beat Neil Magny, and just to solidify his ranking and just to say, I belong in that division, I belong in the UFC. Larkin has some skills as well, guys. He got great hands, he got great kicks. Pretty much he's a well-rounded fighter, but experience-wise, he's nowhere near where Neil Magny is. Neil Magny just beat Hector Lombard, man. Nobody expected that. That was crazy. But anyways, guys, I think Neil Magny's, definitely is going to take that one, and I think he's on a winning streak too. I think he deserves a title shot if he beats Larkin, just because, man, the underdog that everybody thought he couldn't beat, top level guys, and look what happened. He's been fighting in the UFC for a while too, guys. So he's a veteran now, in my opinion. So, but anyways, guys, this is pretty much the fight card for UFC 202. There's other fighters on there if you guys want to review it. It just pretty much, there's no such thing as an easy fight in the UFC, guys. I'm just going to tell you guys off the bat. In UFC, they promote their fights and they pick fighters up and very intelligent. And, they take the best of the best out there and put them in the UFC. And that's the reason why UFC is the best organization to fight. Reason why you only fight the best. All right. There's no second, there's no second best. I'm telling you guys, when they pick somebody and bring somebody to an organization, the reason why, because they see potential in that fighter. So there is no easy fight in the UFC. All right, guys. So we still got to give everybody credit, man. You make it to the UFC, that's the biggest platform, the biggest organization you could get into for MMA. And you guys know UFC just got bought for $4 billion. That's crazy. And the reason why UFC is a household name now. So, guys, leave me you guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the fight card. Let me know who you guys pick. This is just my opinion. You know, don't get mad at me if I pick somebody else completely that who you think's gonna win. This is the fight game, guys. You know, anything could happen. MMA, especially in MMA, man, it only take one single mistake, one small mistake, and it could cost you the fight. And that's what MMA is all about, man. You only fight the best. If you want to fight for the championship, you got to work your way up to the rankings. There's no ducking nobody. You're only going to fight the best. You got to move up in those rankings. So anyways, guys, you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. You know, hit that thumbs up button. And also, you know, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Blah, blah, blah.